Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Greider. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Greider.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. Honored to be connecting in with you. And we have a really special show today. I'm excited to share about a project that we have been working on for about a year, taking steps every day, and we are getting ready to share it with the world. And we're just so excited. So this is a book called Step Into Your Brilliant Purpose that we're going to be releasing on March 1st. So I hope everybody puts that on your calendar. March 1st will be the release of this book. And part of what makes it so special is that it's a collaborative project. So we had 17 authors come together and were led to contribute to this book and to help people live on purpose, to step into their brilliant purpose. In fact, the cover shows a doorway in a field, and the field and the background's almost in a grayscale type of coloring. And in the middle of the field where the door opens, you see a doorway. And where light hits the ground and shines through the doorway, you can see color. So if you visualized stepping through the doorway, you would be stepping into this vibrant life of full color. And that's what we feel like it is when we step into our brilliant purpose, when we step forward in the way that we are called to be and bring forward what we're called to bring forward. We get to live life in full color. And that's what this book's about. And it's to empower all of the readers to live in all color, to live full vibrancy in life by fully stepping into their brilliant purpose. So we're really excited to be coming together, weaving our voices together, our wisdom and insights and lessons learned together to share that with you. And you're going to get a taste today of 3 of the authors as we come together to share our excitement, to share and give you a little taste of the book, as well as give you some tips that you can apply real time about how to step into your brilliant purpose. So it's going to be a great show. We're excited to have you joining us. We're honored to be bringing this compiler with the leaders. There are 2 compilers, Maureen Ryan Blank and myself. We are the compilers of this project, and just so honored to be bringing it forward. You'll get to meet Maureen on a later episode. We're doing a couple episodes about this book, and I know you're going to love every author as you get a chance to hear from them, from their heart, why this project called to them and what they hope you receive by leaning into the conversation today, as well as the book. Welcome, everybody. And I wanted to make sure that we're fully present today. We're able to really receive everything that's been lovingly prepared for each of us. So let's take a moment and take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth like through a straw. Let's do that again. I found I even wanted to hold my breath a little bit more. So let's take another deep breath. Beautiful. As we connect in and release, become fully present. This is a time for you to be poured into. You get to be and receive. So I invite you to release all the to-do things right now, release multitasking, choose to be fully present and receive everything that's here for you, because I know there's something that is exactly for you to support you and empower you on your journey by the very nature that you tuned in. So be ready, open to receive. And let's take a moment to further connect in and listen to our hearts. Let's take a breath in through the nose, and as you do so, close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. Beautiful. Put both hands on your heart. And as you're breathing, Just take a moment to feel in and see what's speaking to you. When we talk about stepping into your brilliant purpose, what does that bring forward for you? What would support, encourage, and empower you to fully step into your calling, your mission, your purpose? Maybe even discovering what that is. What's coming up? What is it you need? And are willing to receive because you have choice. What is it that you need and are willing to receive? Beautiful. Let's take that information in. Take another deep breath. Come back into the room, eyes open, fully present, and take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart. Let's get it out of swirling inside of you and start to interact with it. Bring it forward real time. Beautiful. Great. And we're going to go around our virtual room here and have each of our experts, our authors, just share when they took a moment to stop, pause, and listen. What was laid on their heart to support you in stepping into your brilliant purpose? Or perhaps a reminder that they received when they took a moment to listen. So with that, Dawn, I'd love to start with you. What was laid on your heart?
It was really the desire to share that peace and that healing that I've found with all those who are ready and willing to receive it, mainly through this book.
Beautiful. A desire to share that peace and healing. I love that. Beautiful. Thank you. And how about you, Maureen? What was laid on your heart?
I found that very peaceful, Rebecca, and just intentional, which I should do more of. And I reflected on just the desire to be encouraging to many, to encourage others. Whatever that looks like, I think it's important to kind of be aware, look around, and offer that encouragement.
Beautiful. I love that. We all need encouragement. So what a beautiful intention that's coming forward. I love that. And Janet, how about you? What was laid on your heart?
Well, I've been involved with my daughter's whirlwind of marriage, getting married preparations. And I thought about what a big step marriage is and how it's an opportunity to start a new life, in a sense, a new stage of your life. And that's kind of what this book has been to me, an opportunity to start a new stage in my life, to be able to voice what I need to voice and to be able to share what I need to share.
I love that. Thank you for sharing, and we're excited for your daughter.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. And listeners, how about you? What was laid on your heart when you stopped and listened and just reflected on stepping into your brilliant purpose? What does that mean to you? What is that bringing forward in you? As we get ready to go to our first commercial break, I'm going to encourage you to stay present, to really listen, receive, hear what is bubbling up in you. Really take a moment to be present with it. Take these next 2 minutes just for you. And we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit Facebook.com/Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes just for you, that you had an opportunity to really listen, hear, feel, take in what is speaking to your heart and to your spirit. I have found in my journey that some of the most profound moments have been when I've been willing to slow down, to listen. Those are the moments I was able to recalibrate or consider a new way of being or stepping forward. It was a way that I could receive insight and my life would not be running me or the day running me. I was able to shift that by slowing down, taking a breath, listening for a moment, and then choosing based on that how I would step forward. So I encourage you throughout the show, we have those moments built in by design to support you. So I encourage you to use them. During those 2-minute commercial breaks, choose to stay present and really receive all that information that serves you and release what no longer does. So welcome back. We're talking about stepping into your brilliant purpose. We got to connect in a heart space in the opening segment. And now I wanted to take a moment and introduce the authors that are joining us today so you know a little bit of their background. And this is just a taste. And I'm going to have them share, why this project called to them, because it definitely called forth the authors that were meant to be part of it. And they were definitely directed and pulled forward what each of them chose to share. It was on purpose and by design. And so I'm excited to share some of that with you today. So the first guest I'm excited to introduce to you is Dawn Bradford. She is a life coach, international public speaker and presenter, published author, and she shares the message of hope and healing that is possible no matter what traumas you have experienced. She is passionate about helping you find hope and healing in your life. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and heart-centered Dawn Bradford to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Excited to have you joining us today and just celebrate the work that you do to help so many people in healing and finding that hope. And I'd love to have you share why this book called to you. I know you have lots of opportunities out there, and this is the one of them that you leaned into and said, yes, I'd love to have you share why it called to you and what your chapter title is and about.
Yeah, so this project, I'm feeling so much divisiveness and anger in the world that I think ties back to pain, and I just wanted to do something to create a more positive environment. And I really feel like if we find our own unique purpose and we shed the things that are holding us back and step forward with peace and power, that will change this kind of environment of anger that we're living in right now. And this book really is a voice to do that and to spread that light and energy in the world.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And what is your chapter title?
So my chapter is called Choose to Fully Live. Mm-hmm. And it's about my discovery that the root of my mental and physical problems was suppressed pain from severe childhood abuse. And the message of hope that healing is possible no matter what you have gone through, how horrible your past or your present. There are things you can do right now, today, to move forward on your own healing journey.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I think that's an important message for all of us to embrace the truth of, that there are things that we can do, that we can heal, we can have hope, we can move forward, and there can be great purpose in how we do that and how we step into all that we are fully. And I love your commitment to helping people find that hope and healing, and your willingness to share some of your journey in doing that. So thank you so much for leaning in and being part of this project. I so appreciate it. And I know we're going to circle back in, but I want to give everyone an opportunity to meet our beautiful authors. So we will get to hear more from Dawn shortly. So Dawn, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I'm excited to introduce our next amazing author, Janet Schmidt. And she is so many things. I was just kind of feeling into all of the beautiful things that I love about Janet. And she has a passion for writing and is working on her upcoming book. And she is certified in art therapy, or in process. I'm not quite sure if the certification is complete. I know she was working on it when we talked last. And her upcoming book is going to be talking about how she helped her oldest son with self-esteem and learning disabilities, and being able to really show up in the world in a powerful way. She's a mother of 2 adult children, has been married for over 30 years to her husband, Lyle, and is passionate about helping others fully step into their brilliance. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and heart-centered Janet Schmidt to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
I'm excited to have you here. And I was just thinking of what you shared in the opening about your daughter and the next wave, her journey, and then reflecting back from that place of being married 30 years. Just what a precious time it is for you and for her in that. So I'm just, again, excited for you. Thrilled to have you, excited for her, and excited to have you joining us. And I'd love for you to share why this particular project called to you and a little bit about your chapter.
Well, in the space of 2 years, I lost 3 important people in my life: my father, my mother, and my mother-in-law. And so I was really mentally feeling not only the grief and pain of losing someone and not being able to hug them or kiss them again, but also I felt like it was time to do some evaluation of where my life was. I was feeling my mortality, you might say.
Sure.
And I thought, I need to take a look at my own life too, and be sure that I do what I want to do with my life, and make it worth me being here on this earth. So the other day I was digging through my jewelry box and I found this little bracelet. It said, "There is hope in the world." And Dawn was talking about how angry the world seems to be and everything, and I can relate to that. And I put that little bracelet on, and it's all rainbow colored. And I said, yeah, that's what I want to be to people in the world. I want to give them hope that all is not lost.
Beautiful.
It's never lost. So my chapter, the title of my chapter is Grief, a Catalyst and Opportunity for Positive Change. And, with grief, you can get stuck in grief. My mother lost a child. She lost her second child, a girl, and it was a SIDS death. And my mom got stuck in grief, and she was stuck in grief till the day she died. And it's very difficult. You could also, grief could eat away at you, and there not be much left inside of you. You become kind of a hollow person. But you could also take that grief and turn it into something that means something to yourself. In my respect, I realized that I didn't like the person I was right then, or had been the last 5 years. I felt like I had kind of drifted along on a sea, an empty, lonely sea. And then I needed to really find my purpose. So I got back to my roots, thought about not only what I wanted to be when I was younger, but what dreams have I fulfilled and what dreams haven't I? And the one thing I missed in my life was the passion. And so through this grief with these people that I lost, I was able to find my passion, which is writing. And then I share in there my journey about that.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. And I feel that there have been so many losses that people have experienced. And what a blessing to have someone that'll kind of really walk beside us in a real way and help us harness that and move through that, and how it can create an opportunity as well. And there can be healing and there can be hope. I'm picturing your bracelet with its rainbow colors. So I love that, and how you're pairing that, with grief and really meeting us, where we're at, but also where we can go and some of what we can do with that. So wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. And I'm very honored to have you as part of this project.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And our third amazing author that is joining us today is Maureen Famiano, and she is an award-winning media expert. She was recently a host for the TEDx Women event this past December. She's been in the broadcasting arena for over 35 years. As a TV news reporter, producer, and executive producer. She worked in NBC, WFLA for 17 years as a news producer and executive producer of syndicated shows like Daytime, Star Watch, and Real Animals Fishing. She is the executive producer of the WTSP CBB morning show, Great Day Live, and the creator of her own award-winning company, MEF Media, which she started in 2019 to help companies with their branding and strategies to get media attention in a positive way and show up in a way that they are seen and heard. And let's see, she's a published author, and she's passionate about you being seen and heard. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic Maureen Famiano to the show. Welcome.
Hi, Rebecca. Thanks so much. It's so nice to be here and hear the other stories too.
Excited to have you joining us today. And I am as well. I love each of our authors are so amazing. It's just been an honor to be on this journey with all of you. And it's so much fun when you all get to know each other too. So I'm excited about that and thrilled to have you joining us today. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about why this project called to you, what your chapter title is, and just a little taste of what we discover in your chapter.
Well, I think the title of the book speaks volumes, and I think it's different for whoever sees it. So step into your brilliant purpose. What does that mean? It means something different for everybody. Everybody has a different journey. Everybody has a different life and challenge and joy. And I think at the time we met, I was just past wrapping up a healthcare journey that to me really has become my purpose. And I shared that with you in meeting you, and you shared this opportunity, and I thought, it's calling me. That's my purpose. And for me, my journey was being a cancer survivor and going through the motions as a busy television journalist and, balancing our lives as we all have busy lives, but getting through it and thinking, what am I going to do with it? And I wasn't thinking that at all. You just want to live. But our purpose becomes different when people reach out to you having heard your story. And for me, that happened. And I thought, isn't that interesting? Because I never expected that. But maybe that's why I'm still here. Maybe I'm supposed to share. Maybe I'm supposed to help people navigate the unknown as I had to. And if we could all be better advocates for ourselves, the journey could be different. And the purpose of our lives is different if we can connect better. So for me, it became a kind of focal point in my journey and this opportunity that it was calling me that I had to share. And I had to, you don't know the power of words or a story to help others that you may never hear from or know be better and stronger. So I think it's kind of amazing. It's kind of interesting as we all have the different stories. And for my journalist background, for me, it's about telling stories. I never thought I would have one to share because I'm busy telling other people's stories. So for me, I always tell people, and my chapter title is Making a Difference, one story at a time. I believe that in my television world, in my business world with my company, and the joy it brings me and the joy it brings the people that I work with when they realize they were burying their own story or they weren't sharing their own important story. And when you point it out, it's kind of the aha moment. And it's beautiful when they realize, oh, that is something worth sharing. Maybe that is their purpose. Maybe that is their calling. And no one either knew about it, they didn't think to share it, and it's really fun to pinpoint it for people. So this book, I think, has multiple meanings for lots of people, and those are two of my big things that I'm concentrating on in it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. We're very honored to have you joining us in this powerful book. And I feel like the book is alive, just like you were mentioning, that it speaks to people differently and it has different aspects and dimensions. I feel like it has a very living, breathing type of energy. And just like it called who was supposed to be part of it, I also feel like it's going to call those that it's meant to serve, the readers that it was created for. So I'm really excited to, bring it forward and let it touch the lives that it's called to touch in the world. And I feel like every person that's called to read the book and add it to their library will be blessed, because it does touch so many different aspects of the journey in many different voices. But as listeners, I feel like if you're listening, as I'm kind of listening, as each author shares, you can hear different areas of focus, different parts of their journey that they're sharing, different things they were called to bring forward, different vibrations in the energy of what they're bringing in. And I hope that you have found some pieces or insights that you're feeling are touching you, are kind of pulling you forward. As we get deeper into the show, I'm going to have them share some tips and wisdom to support you real time in stepping into your brilliance from their wisdom, from their perspective and their experience. But I want to give us a moment to just kind of take in what we've heard so far as we transition to our next commercial break. These 2 minutes are just for you. I encourage you to just be with what is speaking to your heart and spirit as you're looking at stepping into your brilliant purpose.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message. It's time to serve, learn, change the world. Tune in each week for the power of young people to change the world, hosted by NYLC's CEO, Amy Mewers. The program is a forum for both young people and the adults who love and support them. We make connections with others through stories of change, partnership, and new perspectives of issues facing the world today. Be sure to join us every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time, or anytime on demand on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes just for you. An opportunity to really take in what is speaking to your heart and to your spirit as you're exploring stepping into your brilliant purpose. We're talking with 3 of our amazing authors that have come together to be part of Step Into Your Brilliant Purpose. And I wanted to just remind everybody about when the book will be available in case you missed that in the opening segment. It'll be available on March 1st. Which is coming up fast. So I encourage you to mark the date on your calendar, March 1st. And here's what's really special about that day. We're going to be offering the book for a super special rate of $1.99 for the first 24 hours. So please mark that on your calendar. We're going to be sharing the links out in social media and into our list and letting everybody know. March 1st, you'll be able to lean in and get a copy for $1.99 that first 24, maybe 48 hours. So I want to make sure you know that because it is time sensitive, and we'd love you to be able to add this to your library, this resource, and we'd be so honored if you would help us share it out. We really are committed to making a positive difference in the world. We want to support and empower people to stepping into their brilliant purpose, and that we don't have to do that on our own. Like, we can let wisdom and experts and people walk beside us on the journey and pour into us. And I found that's made such a difference in my journey. So very excited. March 1st is the release where you'll get to read all of the chapters and be able to lean into that special rate of $1.99. So I encourage you to write that on the calendar so you don't come back to me on March 3rd saying you wish you would have known. So I want to make sure everybody knows, and excited to have all of us connecting back in. And behind the scenes, I asked our authors if they would be willing to share a tip, a piece of advice to really pour into us and support us in being able to step into a brilliant purpose. And so with that, Dawn, I would love for you to start.
Yeah. So because my chapter does kind of focus on allowing ourselves to feel pain and move through it in order to be able to step into a more vibrant life, I wanted to talk a little bit about that, because we tend to take our pain and bury it. We avoid things that are going to cause pain, And as that pain is not taken care of, it expresses itself in anger. And what I found in my own life, that pain was covered with amnesia. I mean, that's the most extreme form of holding that pain in and not dealing with it you can have. But the only way I could learn who I was and how to interact with the world was to break through that amnesia and deal with all of that pain. And the first thing I had to do and continue to have to do is to sit in the quiet and focus on what is inside. Allow whatever is inside to come up and say, what hurts? What feelings are in there? And as I just ask that question, a feeling will come up, and I find a way to express that. And then to get rid of it, the key is, you can come up and feel it over and over again. But what we need to do is actually pull that out of our space. So if you close your eyes and you give that feeling, whatever it was that came up, a shape and a color, and you imagine yourself putting that object, however you created it, in front of you, pulling it out of your space and putting it in front of you. And then you can ask whatever your higher power is, or you can visualize the sun, whatever destructive power that can take that pain out of you and turn it into light and energy and goodness. When it's out of your space, it leaves kind of an emptiness. And that often we'll try to just pull the pain back in because we don't like that little feeling of emptiness. So after you've done that, either ask your higher power to come in and give you some light or a gift, or just imagine, that sun then giving you that light and energy and goodness flowing into your space, or that gift from your higher power, so that you are then receiving and being filled up after you've allowed that pain to leave. So that's beautiful. My tip.
Oh, thank you so much. What a powerful tip and exercise that we can do. And when we're seeing that pain or that hurt, what we can do with it. And thank you so much for not just showing us how to release, but how to deal with that little empty space that it creates.
Yeah.
So that we're able to fill that in a positive way. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Great tip and insight and exercise. And so listeners, I encourage you to start to take some of these notes and add these to your toolbox of things to support you on your journey. And there will be a replay of the show available. And so you can always play sections again that you want to be walked through again, or can support you through an activity like that. And so Dawn, thank you again for sharing. Very, very powerful. And Maureen, I would love for you to share. Do you have a tip, a piece of advice, or an exercise that could help our listeners really step into their brilliant purpose?
I think it comes down to, as you so nicely do in your shows, Rebecca, is pausing and thinking, what gives them great joy? What do they do that makes them unique? Everybody has something or a few things that makes them unique, but we have a tendency to ignore it, to think it's not special, to think it's not our superpower, and it just might be. And I think when people pause and reflect on meeting people, sharing their lives or their little journeys of connection or whatever the case is, and when people have a tendency to over and over again tell you, that's amazing, well, take that amazing to heart. Listen to what they're telling you to lift you up and see if there's a pattern. Because if there is a pattern, that might be something that you should notice. We're busy with our lives, doing so many things for so many people that we don't see our value, perhaps until somebody else hits us over the head with it. And if we pause, we may better understand what it is. And then we have to pause to think, okay, now what do we do with it? What do we do with it? Do we share it? Do we keep it private? If we do share it and our journeys of challenges, would that help others be better? Maybe. And I find in working with people to tell their stories and sharing my own colon cancer story of survival, so many people react in the, what? You? Or you did that? Or people do this and that? And it's just a beautiful moment to see them grow and connect and think that's what they have to embrace. And that's what they have to use moving forward to share their uniqueness and their brilliance. And I love finding that. It's their story always. It's what they're already doing, but they don't know the importance of it.
Oh, I love that. That's so powerful. And I think we make it more complicated and harder and more of a mystery than it needs to be because we can't.
Absolutely.
See ourselves or understand what's unique or amazing or brilliant about ourselves. We're so close. So I love that. Take that amazing to heart. I think that's quotable, a great thing to write down. And remember that when somebody reflects something like that back to you, take it to heart. Don't just brush it off. Embrace it. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote that down. That's a takeaway for me. Take that amazing to heart. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And Janet, I'd love for you to share. What piece of advice, tip, or exercise would you like to share with our listeners today?
Well, as I said before in the first segment, that I felt lost. And I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be doing. And life was just a blur. Well, when there's times like that, it may be a time that you need to realign with your purpose. And to do that, there's a couple steps I think that is important. And one is take time to sit down and think about all the things that you're grateful for in your life. This will help you get in touch with your feelings so that when you're ready to look at the next thing, you are ready for that. So, and that includes your gifts. If you are aware of what gifts you have, be sure to include them as something you're grateful for. The second thing is to go deep and to let yourself feel. And ask yourself a few questions. One, do I feel passionate about what I'm doing right now? Is there things that I enjoy doing that I should do more of? What do I feel strongly about? Do I like what I do now in my job? Why or why not? And as you consider some of these things, plus the things that you're grateful for, you might begin to see something that's worthwhile to realign and go for as your purpose. In my case, I had always written. When I was a child, I enjoyed writing. I would sit on the hill next to my grandmother's house in the dusk. I liked the time best is when the sun sets. And I'd sit there and I'd write poems and stories. And then, yes, I had my little flashlight. And I had forgotten what that had felt like. And so the day that I sat down and faced what I needed to do in life, I thought about my life throughout being a young child all the way up to where I was at now. And I thought, that's what's missing, my writing. And I'd always wanted to get my writing published because I felt like I had a voice and what I had to say was important. So that's how I realigned my purpose.
Beautiful.
And there's some tips on how to realign yours. And, you may have to realign your purpose more than once. You may come to the point where you think you've met your goal, your purpose, and then another purpose pops into view. So you may have to do it more than once.
I love that. Thank you. That it's not like this moment we just ta-da arrive and that's it, but that there's an ongoing journey and an exploration and being willing to do that and to go there and to recalibrate or realign. Beautiful. Thank you for walking us through that practice and steps to kind of help us on the journey. I really appreciate it and your experience of doing that. I appreciate you sharing with us today, Janet. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
I was reflecting on just all the things that were shared with us today. And one of our authors, and I think it was Maureen, you were talking about kind of those superpowers, that amazing thing about ourselves. And one of our authors in the book discovered his gift, which he never saw coming. It was one of those things that surprised him. And you can learn more about his story in the book as well. But his name is Sam Yao, and one of his gifts is with words and poetry. And he's fully embraced that, shares some of his journey and story in the book, as well as some of his poetry. And I thought I had one of his poems really laid on my heart to share with all of you today, and I got his permission. And so here is the poem that I just thought would be great to weave into our conversation today. It's called The Nature of Love, and this is by Sam Yao. Love is the force that binds, causes things to come together, to interact, to co-create, and to evolve in an endless cycle of love. Love is the most subtle force that belies the ocean of interpenetrating fields of energy and matter. It is more fundamental than the electromagnetic, nuclear, and gravitational pull. Love evokes matter to become life through alchemy. It is not a feeling. It is the mother of all feelings. It is not a union. It is the union of all unions. Its shadow is fear of loss of love, fear of loneliness. The birth of all births, the creator of all creations, the drive of all creative impulses. It is disguised as thousands of things, amid which we have forgotten our true essence. For love subdivides itself into many forms of beauty. For beauty is in the eyes of the lover. The one who can no longer love can see no beauty in anything. Even truth is like a ray of light that can be bent in the opposite direction by the perspective of love or fear. If you are a lover of all things, your stream of joy and bliss is unceasing, for you live in the elements, for you are love itself. As we get ready to go to our next commercial break, I encourage you to take time to review the insights that Dawn and Maureen and Janet have shared with us, to reflect on Sam's words and see how they speak to you. And then we will continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Find out what makes the most successful people tick. Keep listening to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. And I want to invite you at the end of the show today to take 2 to 5 minutes for you. And just those final thoughts and wisdom, give them chance to bubble up within you or be received and taken in deeply. And then step forward in your day. And I want to encourage you to take in that amazing to heart. I just love that phrase that Maureen shared, and really take a moment to feel that, what someone has reflected back to you, and take that in. Now, I wanted to give all of you an opportunity to connect with our authors, to be able to go deeper. So if someone you really felt this strong pull and resonance with, we wanted to give you a way to connect in with them. So we're going to go around the room. So have your pencils ready, your writing utensils ready. They're going to share the best way to connect in. And then again, our book, Step Into Your Brilliant Purpose, will be released on March 1st. So stay tuned for that. And let's start with Janet. What's the best way for people to connect in?
As I don't have a website yet, I hope to someday. You can contact me through my email. My email is J, A as in apple, S as in Sam, C as in cat, H as in hat, M as in Matt, I, D as in dot, and T as in toe. And then 1, 2, 5, 8. That's all together at gmail.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much for letting us know the best way to connect in. We appreciate that. And Maureen, what's the best way for people to connect in?
Sure, Rebecca, and thank you. It's been a pleasure. My website is MEF Media. That's marvelous, excellent, fantastic media. My email is Maureen, MAUREEN, at MEFmedia.com. And they can find me on social media, on Facebook with my name, Maureen Famiano, or MEF Media, and LinkedIn with my name. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. And Dawn.
My email is S as in Sandra, DawnBradford at gmail.com, or my website is dawnbradford.com. And I'm also on social media. All my handles are S. Dawn Bradford. And I would love to connect. I love talking to survivors, to anyone who is struggling.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Listeners, please know that they are sincere in wanting to walk beside you and connect with you and support you. So please don't be shy. They share their contact information on purpose. And again, we hope that you have gotten some great value out of today's show. If you are interested in picking up a copy of Step Into Your Brilliant Purpose, it will be available on March 1st for that special rate of $1.99, and we'd be so honored to have you lean in, and you'll find the bios and all of the contact information of the amazing authors that you heard today, as well as the rest of the beautiful co-authors. Thank you for leaning in today. It's been an honor to walk beside you, and I want to encourage you to see that amazing and really take that in, your brilliance, and be willing to share it with the world. That is one of the biggest gifts you can give the world. It's actually more of you, more of who you truly are and are designed to be. And shining that out in the world creates a positive ripple. So I want to stretch and challenge you to this week, find a way to share just a little bit more of you. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.